Recent report says that about 15% of the world's population is left-handed. Growing up left-handed used to be very tough for this group of people, as family, teachers, and African societies prevented them, sometimes forcefully, from using their left hand. There was pronounced discrimination against left-handers during the 18th and 19th centuries, many times with a desire for the use of the left hand beaten out of them. Once they were grown, left-handers were often shunned by society. As discrimination reduced in the 20th century, the number of natural left-handers who stayed left-handed increased, but not all were free from forceful correction. Left-handed people, known as Southpaws, are said to engage the right side of their brain more actively. Sheyi Roberts, a neurologist, explains.
We all have two brains. What happens is that the two brains are connected by a huge cable, which is called the corpus callosum, so that your two brains communicate with each other. And the way the human brain and the anatomy is structured is that the left brain controls the right side, and the right brain controls the left side. And the fibers connecting the brain and the sides cross somewhere under your, at your neck. Usually left-handed people have their right side of the brain being dominant, whereas right-handed people, like I am, have their left side of the brain being dominant. But it's not as clear-cut like that for left-handers, because we find that a lot of left-handers actually also have their dominant hemisphere on the left side. And if you are now trying to suppress the dominant hemisphere by forcing the child to use the less dominant hemisphere, you are also suppressing the hemisphere that deals with speech and language, which ultimately may impair the normal development and intellectual performance of the child.
The governor of Lagos State, Southwest Nigeria, Babatunde Fashola, a Southpaw, told me about his former TV years.
The first time that it became an issue was one day when one of my father's friends visited and we were eating rice, and he said I couldn't eat with my left hand, so that, can't you use your right hand? And when I tried, I poured all the rice down. My father said, look, stop terrorizing my son. If you don't want to eat this rice, you better get up. My father is ambidextrous. He uses both hands. So I have siblings that are left-handed. I have those that are right-handed. So we just get on with life.
Not many are as lucky as Fashola. One of those unlucky ones is Nuhu Ribadu, former presidential candidate for a Nigerian political party, the then Action Congress of Nigeria, and former anti-corruption chief.
I suffered. At times, I have received some bashings and beatings sometimes. Everything you do, people will say, no, you cannot do it with the left hand. And when I was growing up, even to eat, it was difficult for me to use my right hand.
Some of the myths surrounding Southpaws are that they are always successful, brilliant, and sometimes very aggressive.
I can be a bit quick-tempered. I'm aware of that.
To say that Southpaws are always successful is a myth. The fact of their makeup is borne out by science.
For example, if both parents are left-handed, the chance of their having a left-handed child is about 25%, so it's very high. We live in a right-handed world. So being born left-handed is actually in itself a small handicap.
Religion also plays a role in the makeup of the Southpaws. Biblical and Islamic views cannot be overlooked.
Islam has respect for those people. Islam only specifies that we eat and drink with our right hand. Now, Islam frowns, however, at those who are naturally, right-handed and who now use the left hand either to eat or to drink or even to greet. Now, it is to this extent that Islam will now look at it as disrespectful.
It is not a question of, well, maybe the left is bad and the right is good. Before God gave us both, and both are good.
No Nigerian tribe or culture accepts Southpaws. Rather, they look at Southpaws with disdain. Yemi Elebibo is a Yoruba culture icon who told me why the Yoruba tribe in Nigeria frowns at left-handed folks.
Yoruba believe that if anybody using left hand, it is a kind of a disrespect to use left hand to offer money or to use it to cook. They believe that right hand is better than the left. Say ọ̀tún ni mo yà sí, mi ò ní bá òsì lọ.
It is believed that the word belongs to the right-handed people. Left-handed people suffer in silence as they struggle with everyday items like cameras, computer mouse, scissors, and door handles, because most of these are not made with them in mind. They're usually made for the right-handed people. There is no denying it. Left-handers are the odd people out in society. The Southpaw community includes many famous people. The biggest name in television, Oprah Winfrey, is in that community. So is Prince William, who is in line for the British throne.
It's hard when you got this many pens.
Don't leave out the 33rd President of the United States, Barack Obama. He is a lefty as well. Oh, what about singer Celine Dion? And Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft Corporation. Yes, you got it, they're lefties.
In my country, Ireland, people who went before me were actually beaten in their school classrooms, and they were told they couldn't use their left hand and they would have to write with their right hand. But that wasn't the situation in my case. I was allowed to use it.
When I was in my 3rd year in my primary school, my class teacher forced me to stop being a Southpaw. It created some problems for me at that time. After almost 30 years, I met with my primary 3 school teacher.
Then I forced to, because of letter 2, figure 2 in particular, I know, and 5. You know, that time when you write 2, you will turn it upside down. It was when I went for a course that I now realized that children can use their left hand properly. Changing you from your left hand to right hand, I say I'm sorry.
C-A-R-S, clap for her. I am just lucky to have recovered from the damage after spending 5 years in my primary school days being perplexed. The next child might not be as lucky as I. Adedoja Salaam-Adeniyi, TV News, Lagos, Nigeria.